Okay, now we can get the juices. It's getting juicier and juicier each chapter. Okay, now we're coming into chapter 18, Genesis chapter 18. And here, remember, Ishmael is 13 years old. Okay, they just circumcised themselves and made sure that no one's allowed in Abraham's house without being circumcised. Okay, and that's what made Abraham and all his people separate and different. What made them different from all the other cultures and people around them. These other men were not circumcised. Remember that. Okay? All right. Chapter 18. And the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre. And he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And he looked up his eyes, and lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door and bowed himself down to the ground. He says, come into my house, come into my house. I pray thee, come into my house. Let a little water, I pray thee, be fetched, and wash your feet. And he told Sarah to go to make sure that you get some fine meal and knead it and stuff and make some cakes and stuff, because these men are going to come into our house and eat with us. Okay? And Abraham ran back outside and got a quick, fast calf real quickly and came back in and hooked it up. And they got it to Sarah so she can dress it and cook it. Okay, and he took butter and milk and all that and calf, what you dressed and, all that. Okay. So now they're doing, and so the angel's sitting there with Abraham and said, where's Sarah, your wife? And she's back there cooking, she's back there in the back cooking and stuff. And he said to her, this time next year, your wife Sarah's going to have a child. And Sarah kind of hear them talking, and she started laughing. And said, you laughing back there, Sarah? She said, no, I'm not laughing. Yes, you are. You are laughing. Yes, you are. But this time next year, you will have a son. Okay? You will barely, shall I surely bear a child with which I am old? And the Lord was like, is anything too hard for the Lord? At the time I appointed, I will return unto thee according to the time of life, 9 months. And Sarah will have a son. And the Lord turned to Abraham and said, Lord, Abraham, shall I hide from thee this thing I'm about to do? Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I know him, and that he will command his children and his household after him, that they shall keep the way of the Lord, and to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken to him, all the various blessings. But he said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and their sin is very grievous, I will go down now and see if they have done altogether according to the cry of it which is come unto me. And if not, I will know. And Abraham's thinking, Lot's down there, because he's going to go down there and destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what I mean? And this is where Abraham said the prayers, which I put in another video on how to pray unto the Lord. And I use this scripture because Abraham was like, Lord, will thou destroy the righteous with the wicked? Peradventure there be 50 righteous within the city. Will thou destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? That be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked. That be far from thee. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? And the Lord said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous people within the city, I'll spare the whole place for their sakes. And Abraham went on to say, behold now, I have taken upon thee to speak unto the Lord, and I'm just but dust and ashes. Peradventure there lack 5 of the 50 righteous. Will you destroy the city for the lack of the 5? And the Lord said, if I find there 45, I'll spare the whole city. And Abraham was like, Peradventure, thou shalt be 40 found there. Please let me speak once more. If there be 40 found there, would you spare the city? He said, I will not destroy the city if there's 40 righteous there. And he kept on going down, all the way down to 10, I think it is. I'm going to go all the way down. 20's sake. If I find there 20, I'll save the city. Oh, here it is. The last one was, oh Lord, let not the Lord be angry with me. I will speak but once more. Peradventure 10 be found there. And he said, I will not destroy the city for 10's sake. Now here, you don't even see the Lord. You can only hear his voice. They're already heading down towards there. And the Lord went his way. And as soon as he left communicating with Abraham, and Abraham returned to his place. Okay. That wonderful prayer that shows you how to pray to the Lord and being, please, Lord, please. There's just that reverence that you need to have with him at all times. Okay. In your prayers. Okay. All right. Now, okay, this is Genesis chapter 19. After they left Abraham and went their way. After Abraham prayed the prayer and it went down to 10 people, you know what I mean? He said, if I find 10 people righteous in the city, I'll save the whole city. Okay? And then he went his way. Abraham went on back into the house with Sarah. Okay? Then there's chapter 19. Now, before I tell you, I'll set up a little bit so you can see what's going on here. Lot, in every city in the United States, there's a sign that says like, welcome to Berkeley, welcome to San Francisco, population, boom, 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 whatever. Well, Sodom and Gomorrah was so bad. They were bad in that they had their own way of doing things. And their way of doing things was pleasure. Sexual pleasure in particular. That was their way of doing things. I mean, back in those days, a king come up and he conquered something. Now he's the king. And if that's what his whole way of doing things was sex, and he make a decree. That's what everybody's doing. Everybody. Animals, kids, grown-ups, you name it. Everybody. That was his way of doing things. Okay? And that was their way of doing things. That's why the Lord's going to go up there and deal with them. Okay? And for other reasons as well. But anyway, so those angels left Abraham, and now they're going down towards Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, Lot, these people were so wicked. Lot, first of all, everybody heard that about Abraham and his blessings, about this God and Abraham getting these blessings. So everybody wanted to have some kind of connection and tied to Abraham. They still do to this very day, in 2020 something. Okay? All right. So the men of Sodom was like, the word was out that Abraham's the big blessed Abraham, the blessed man of the Hebrews with the God of Abraham, well, God. One of his family members, his brothers and nephews, talking about Lot, his nephews is coming down here to live with us. Of course, they accepted him in a big way, and they made him the governor of the city. Oh my God. He couldn't stand it. He lived in the city. There he met a woman, and they had 2 daughters. And they had families, of course. That woman had families, a mom and dad and families and whatever, this, that, and the other. But Lot, these people were so out in their morals and the way they did things, Lot kind of hung out by the welcome to Sodom sign. That's what he was out there. He lived in the city, but he kind of always was out there by the sign. Okay? And one day he was out there, and there came 2 angels to him that just left Abraham. And here they come now walking to Lot. And Lot sat at the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet him And he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. And he said unto them, Behold, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and you shall rise up early and go your ways. And they said, No, well, we're cool. We can stay out here in the street all night. We're fine. And looking at all the weird stuff that was going on, there's some crazy stuff out here, but we cool. You know what I mean? And Lot pressed upon them. No, greatly, please turn in here and come into my house. And so they found, okay, cool. So they came on into the house. He told his wife to make a feast, and let's get the unleavened bread, and we're going to eat. Okay. And later on that evening, it was coming into nighttime, and it was time to kind of rest and stuff. Before they laid down, the men of the city. Now, usually people came to Sodom for pleasure. That's what they came there for. Okay, so when the men was like, they saw these new guys coming to the city and going to Lot's house, they decided to have a little meeting on the outside. And out there, they just decided that they want to know these guys and let them be part of the pleasure stuff and all that, you know what I mean, and stuff. And while they were in there eating, getting ready, they already ate. Now here they are getting ready to rest for the night. All of a sudden they hear some knocking at the door with they got a log or something, and they're hitting the door. Lot comes out. So what's going on out here? What's going on? Lot comes outside. What's going on? And they're like, who those men that you had come into the city? We saw them. You need to give them out to us so that we can know them, and know them meaning sexually. We can know them and da 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 da. And Lot said, no, you ain't doing this, man. No, these guys, because Lot can tell. Lot knew that these were angels. No, you ain't doing this to these guys, man. And Lot even was like, look, I got 2 daughters, virgins. Y'all can have them, but you leave these men alone. Okay? And one of the guys in the crowd said, oh, what, he think he'll judge over us? You think he'll judge over us? And they went to grab Lot. They're like, get him, y'all. And they went to grab him. The angels from the inside of the house grabbed Lot and pulled him into the house and closed the door. Blam! Then the angels came outside. The angels came outside. What's going on out here? And they said, stand back. And this one fellow came in the surgeon. He needs to be judged. You know what I mean? Oh, really? Okay. It says here, the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot back into the house and shut the door. And then they came out. What's going on out here? And the guys were like, it says here that the men waved their hand, and everything went blind. Everything there went, all animals, bugs, bees, bugs, fly, everything went blind. Woo! They smote the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they were all wearying themselves trying to find something, trying to find the door or whatever. And the man said to Lot, has out anyone besides any others in this house, others besides you and your wife? You have any your sons-in-laws on them? Whoever you know, go get your sons-in-laws, sons, daughters, whatever, throughout the city. Get them, because the Lord's going to destroy this place in the morning. You better get going. And he says, we will destroy this place, because the cry of them has waxen great into the face of the Lord, and the Lord has sent us to destroy it, these cities. And Lot's wife, him and his wife, are now going to her other family members. Come on, y'all, get out. Come, the Lord's going to destroy the city. The Lord's going to destroy it, so you must leave. We must get. And they were like, get out of here, lady. Get out of here. You know what I mean? You come up in here. You had these strange men come into your house and made everybody go blind. Now look what's going on there, Get out of here. Get out of here. You know what I mean? And stuff. similar to Noah. The Lord's going to destroy this place. The Lord's going to destroy it with the flood. Get out of here. You making that big dumb ark, that big old boat out there. How you going to get it all out to the Mediterranean Sea, this, that, and the other? Get out of here. Same thing. And we know what ended up happening. That water starts. Those raindrops come down. That first night, everybody went running to the ark. Just like here. Get out of here. Go you these men coming up in the house made everybody blind. Get on out of here. And they're trying to run and everything. Meanwhile, the weather outside is going through something. That should have been a sign right there. All right, anyway. But they seen this one who is mocked unto the Lord. This is the family members. Lot and the wife seemed like one who mocked to his sons-in-law. Okay. When the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon, he took Lot's hand and he took her hand. They brought all them out of the city. And it came to pass when they had brought them out forth, he said, Now escape for your life. Go, run as far as you can, and look not behind thee, neither stay thou in the plain. Escape to the mountains, lest you be consumed. Now, we got to go back now. I got to show you something. Abraham, he was living up in the mountains in an area called Zoar. This was down in the plain with Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay. Now the people up here are kind of seeing what's going on down there. What's going on down there? There's the weather's going crazy and that stuff is going crazy and the people are running around. What's going on down there? And stuff. Now, meanwhile, he's like telling them, he got them outside of this area here and said, now go run. Run as fast as you can. Get out of here. Go towards Zoar. You know what I mean? Those up there. And so, he said, but you got to give us time to run. We got to be able to get to the mountains. He said, we said, you better get going. And surely enough, as they were running, boom, they heard because the Lord, and also the angels told them, we can't destroy this place until y'all are gone. We can't destroy this place until you guys are out of here. So go. You know what I mean? And then, of course, we know what happened. The boom happened. The wife turned around because she's remembering her brothers, her sons, her brothers and her family and all them. She turns around, turns into a pillar of salt. Meanwhile, Lot and his two daughters are running on. They go up towards Zoar. The people up there are like, don't come up here. Don't y'all come up here with that mess. Whatever we saw what's going on down there, with everything that's going on with y'all in this situation, and the fire, that the blast that happened, and all those people are destroyed. Don't come up here because you might be bringing bad luck up here. So they ended up going and staying in a cave, and they lived in that cave. They dwelled in that cave. Okay, the Lord rained upon Solomon, brimstone, fire, and from the Lord out of heaven. And overthrew the cities all in the plain, and all the inhabitants of the cities, and that which grew upon the ground. Everything got killed. His wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. Abraham got up early in the morning, where he stood, he could see what was going on down in the plain. And he looked towards Sodom and Gomorrah, and toward all the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as a fire, as the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass, when God destroyed the cities of the plain, that God remembered Abraham, and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow. In other words, he remembered his prayer, Abraham's prayer, and he saved Lot and his two daughters in the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in which Lot dwelt. And Lot went up to Zoar and dwelt in the mountain, and his two daughters with him. For he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he dwelled because the people up there were like, don't you come up here with that. And so he dwelled in the cave, he and his two daughters. Then there's a quick little side thing that happened here with him and his daughters. After time passed, a few years passed, the daughters are like, look, we are Lot's daughters. We're related to Abraham. So we got some blessings somewhere along the line here. But we got to have an heir. We have to give our father an heir. So the oldest came up with a plan to have sex with get their dad good and drunk, lay with him, get pregnant by him, and then the younger one do the same thing. Get him drunk, lay with him, have a child with him. And that's what they did. And the firstborn, her son, would be Moab and the Moabites. Same as the father of the Moabites unto this day. The other is Amnon and the Ammon and the Ammonites. These are two groups of people who are going to give Israel problems after problems after problems in years to come. And they are also going to be connected to this curse of Ham. We still have yet to deal with this curse of Ham. Now all of these people, all this whole side over here is going to be dealing with the curse of Ham. Okay, and this is all part of it. And I'll give you this much right now. This curse of Ham and all the people over here on this side, remember, it all started with Ham. Then there's Nimrod. And there's going to be others that's going to be following all over here on this side. And here is Lot's daughters, Moab and Amnon is over here. Ishmael's over here. All of them are over here on this other side. Okay? Because they have nothing, two reasons. One, they have nothing to do with the God of Abraham on the one side. And two, is connected to the curse of Ham. That's over here. And I'll tell you what that is in a few minutes. I'll be telling you what all that curse is all about over here on this side. Okay? Yeah. Woo. All right. All right. And then we get into chapter 20. Woo. All right. Genesis chapter 20. And Abraham journeyed from thence toward the south country and dwelt between Kadesh, Shur, and Gerar. Okay, now here's where Abraham's now traveling on again, and they're coming towards an area where again the men of the land are going to see Sarah and how cute she is, and is going to go run into the king to tell him. And Abraham told her, if we go in here, let them know we're going to say that we're brother and sister. Okay, and that's what happened. And of course, they get in there, and Amalek, he was the king of Gerar, and he took Sarah into the house. But God came to Abimelech in a dream that night and said to him, behold, you are a dead man. For the woman which you have taken, she is a man's wife. And Abimelech had not yet had sex with her. And he said, Lord, will thou also slay a righteous nation? And said he not unto me, she is my sister? And she even herself said that he is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and innocency of my hands, I have not done this. And the Lord said unto him in a dream, yea, I know thou hast not done this in the integrity of your heart. For I also withheld, look at these words right here. Oh my goodness. For I withheld thee from sinning against me. Therefore suffer thee not to touch her. I also withheld you from sinning against me. Oh, people, do you know what that means? We're going to stop right now and get ready to come into the next part of this, and I'll explain more about that. I'll start off explaining more about that there. Okay? All right. Be right back.